What's up, guys? Rob from Legend Gaming here, bringing you the latest Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl patch. Yes, in fact, patch to Dow has happened a second time, and this patch is definitely a doozy, definitely a big one. So we're gonna get into it here. You'll have to excuse the kind of rough, more unedited version of this video than you might be used to seeing, just because I've got a lot of stuff going on with other videos and content and stuff. But I did want to get this video done because I do want to get this information out to you guys. So yeah, I'll start with the patch notes here. General added the option to play versus another player in training mode when two controllers are connected. You could do that through the better training mode mod from Sanji, but now it's in the base game, which is super helpful if you want to lab some stuff out with your friends instead of having to set like a versus mode match to 99 stocks, 99 minutes. Now you can do it in training mode where you can see the hitboxes and stuff, which is cool. A new option was added to have CPU versus CPU in local matches. I guess if you just wanted to hang out with your friends, just watch some computers play against each other. For those who are speedrunning arcade mode, we added a timer to the HUD in arcade mode. Also, loading time is no longer included in the final time. So, shout out to the speedrunning community on that. Character selection no longer resets when entering the rules menu. That's a nice quality of life thing. Instead of having to reselect every character that was playing in the game, if you wanted to tweak something now, they'll stay selected. A timer was added to the online modes for the character and stage selection. When the timer runs out, a random character and stage are selected, starting the battle after it, which is super good change, considering that people would just AFK while looking for a match for some reason. So now what this means is if you're in a lobby with somebody who's AFK, after I think it's 90 seconds or 60 seconds, I forget, I think it's 90, a random character and stage will be selected on their end, meaning that the battle will start. You can just 3-stock them or leave the game, and then they won't be in the queue anymore. They'll be either in the menu saying that the match was canceled, or they'll be in the post-game screen. So you'll be able to get AFK people out of the queue, which is nice. Stage collisions have been improved to prevent phasing, which is good. Some stages you would just fall through it, like I think Harmonic had an issue with that. UI now properly adapts to different aspect ratios and minor UI tweaks. Okay. Balance, universal. Here we go. This is getting into some stuff here. Grounded normals now clang with grounded normals always. Grounded normals now rebound against grounded strongs always, which means strongs on the ground will always beat out normals. These are the clank changes. Aerial normals will now never collide with other hitboxes, excluding projectiles. Aerial strongs now never collide with other hitboxes, excluding projectiles and RPS win-loss interactions. So grounded moves don't clank with aerial moves anymore. And aerial moves don't clank with other aerial moves. You'll basically just whoever wins the interaction will win out, which means you can't just spam light moves like Shredder's Nair could just clank with things, Garfield's Nair could clank with things, Zim's Nair could clank with things. You don't have that anymore. Clanking is almost completely gone from the game. It's still in the game, but it definitely does not happen very often, like at all. So RPS loss length increased to 30 plus half your current percent for frames. So you're in RPS if you lose for a minimum of 30 frames, so half a second. RPS loss takes hit stun from winning strong attack. It kind of interacts a little weirdly. The game kind of almost like pauses for a second when this happens from taking hit stun. It's kind of strange. RPS loss takes damage from winning strong attack, which is good. You should still take the percentage if you lose RPS. You shouldn't just basically get a free out of a move. Initiating a dash stance now puts the character into a brief turnaround stance for a frame and keeps the character in place for slightly longer before initiating the next dash. This was good for dash stances that were like jittery and kind of jutted around the screen, like Leonardo, for example, was very like wonky. You kind of just fly back and forth. Initiating a dash from a state that isn't explicitly set up as tweenable, i.e. dash dancing, will activate a fallback where the moves tween from the start of the character's idle animation. This drastically reduces the janky, snappy visual effects dash dancing can have. So again, some more dash dancing fix. Color overlay for standard and good blocks altered to be more opaque. All right, so you'll be able to a little bit easier tell when you hit power blocks and stuff like that. Fixed a bug where move sending you down and slightly to the left wouldn't DI properly if holding horizontal left. Fixed bug where color overlays while blocking persisted a few frames than the end lag represented. So the clank change is huge. This affects a lot of characters. You can still clank, but it's not very common almost at all. A lot of things don't clank. Like I said, strongs always beat normals. Or lights. Strongs always beat lights. What's it called? Grounded moves will not clank with aerial moves, and aerial moves don't really clank that much at all, if ever. So, some change to the RPS stuff, which is, I think, good, and some change to other stuff. Sports mode, players now able to hold the ball. Okay. The AI is now able to handle balls around hazards. I guess I never really played sports mode, so I guess that AI had some bugs. Throw changes, big deal here. So the base knockback on the grounded forward throw reduced, the growth is reduced, and the stun is reduced. Wow! So you'll be able to act out of throws a little bit better. But the stun growth is increased, so as you get higher percentage, throws will be more powerful. Aerial neutral throw, base knockback decreased by 40 units. Base stun decreased by 18 units, and the stun growth goes up. So the same situation, basically. F-throw loops were very, very good. Like characters like Aang and Reptar could just forward throw loop you over and over and over again, unless you DI'd out. Excuse me. And of course, DIing out put you towards the blast zone, or towards the ledge, which is something that most don't really want to be near the ledge if you can help it. So yeah, forward throw loops, from what I understand, are kind of dead. They're not very useful now. This is going to be a very common theme. You're going to see a lot of aerial downlights and down strongs being changed here. SpongeBob, general, certain actions now use proper textures when mirrored. His aerial downlight length increased from 24 frames to 31 frames. Aerial downstrong length increased from 44 frames to 49 frames. What this means, since the move's length is increased, but the hitbox frames haven't changed at all, is the move takes longer now, which means it's laggier, which means you can't spam it as much, which means a lot of dare trains in this game are gone. Before, it was incredibly easy to dash attack somebody off ledge, jump out of dash attack, and then dare them. 2, 3 light down airs and they're gone. But now that the move is laggier, you can still do it. Like his downlight is still a good edge guard. It's more committal, and it's not as easy to just kill somebody at 0%. Since there's more end lag, people might be able to jump out of it, dash out of it, throw a move out of it, up air, nair, or whatever out of it. Patrick, his aerial downlight got a 10 frame increase from 23 to 33 frames, but his base stun, so his move stuns you a little bit more now. But yeah, it's laggy. Shredder fixed the charge VFX bug. VFX will now disappear after dying with status effects. That was when you had the purple flurp, basically, while you had the charge. After you died, you would still have the visual, but you wouldn't actually have the charge state. Sandy, aerial dare, or light dare, increased from 24 frames to 32 frames. Down strong increased from 40 to 48 frames. Cora, down light, 24 to 30 frames. Her down strong got blasted from 40 frames to 53 frames. This is like a huge increase. It's 13 frames of end lag. Sorry, that was Aang. Aang's, his aerial down strong, 13 extra frames of end lag is crazy. Cora, aerial down light length increased from 26 to 32. Aerial down strong, 38 to 50. This is, again, another 12 frames of end lag here. Lincoln Loud. I said Lincoln lag. Yeah, the dares are now Lincoln lag. Aerial downlight 20 to 31 frames. Aerial downstrong 38 to 51. Mrs. Queen Dare herself, 22 to 30 frames on the aerial downlight. Mid special length increase. So oddly enough, bite got laggier. The damage went from 1 to 3%. The launch angle changed from 20 degrees to 34 degrees. The base knockback was decreased from 60 to 35, but it has knockback gain now, which is important. Before, you would be able to kill with this move. I mean, you still can't kill with this move. If you're dying to bite, you're at a percentage that you probably shouldn't be at. But it has more stun gain, and the block direction is set to mid. Down special, block direction set to down. So her aerial dare got hit to 30 frames. She was like the biggest culprit of this, was Lucy's just camping ledge, fishing for that dash attack, and then knocking you down and killing you. Leo, aerial downlight from 29 frames to 39 frames. Aerial down strong, a 15 frame lag increase. April O'Neil, aerial dare. I don't know what it. Yeah, light down air. 10 frame increase. Fixed issues or ratings would only build on the hitbox's last active frame. And her aerial down strong, of course, her strong dare being one of the best moves in the game, is now 10 frames laggier. Shredder, aerial up strong grabbed can no longer escape, so sometimes people would fall out of his aerial up strong, which was weird. Mid special hitbox activates 1 frame later. His X velocity decrease, so it's slower. Hitting a shield / invincible opponent will halt Shredder's movement. So thank God, this is so important. You can no longer pass through shields with Shredder neutral B, which means you can actually kind of punish it now, especially because the block push was decreased from 3 frames to 0.5. Huge. It's a huge change to Shredder. It basically means he can't just spam neutral B and get away with it. It's way more punishable now. So, huge nerf to Shredder. His Nair is still pretty good, but the clanking changes do make it a little bit worse. Ren and Stimpy, their dare went from 24 to 36 frames. That's another huge change. And the last set of patch notes here. Powdered Toast Man, his up strong got a base knockback decrease. Aerial down light length increased. Oh, excuse me. His light dare, an 11 frame lag increase. Aerial up strong base knockback decrease from 270 to 115. So Lick no longer just blows you off the face of the map. Why this was ever base knockback of 270 is insane. That is so strong. That is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. That was insane. But it's still a strong move, but it's not a nuclear tongue. You can still Z-drop Shine Lick, but it's not going to kill at 0 anymore. Thank God. And his strong dare lag increase. Zim, aerial down light increase from 22 frames to 30 frames. Aerial down strong from 40 to 48. People are saying in the Discord, that Zim can still dare train a little bit easier than a lot of the other casts, so we'll see if that helps. Gur can no longer be grabbed during the very beginning of an explosion animation. Obviously, you shouldn't be able to grab Gur if he's going nuclear. Cat Dog, aerial down light length increase from 30 to 34 frames, so not a huge increase. I mean, their light dare wasn't crazy. It already was kind of laggy. It was basically as laggy as Zim's is now, so... Reptar, light dare from 24 to 33 frames. Down special launch angle change from 300 degrees to 322. So a little bit of a difference on his down special and his light dare. Nigel Thornberry, aerial down light from 22 frames to 28 frames. His launch angle was also changed. Helga, light dare increase from 22 to 31 frames. Aerial down strong, already pretty laggy at 45 frames, changed to 49 frames. Danny Phantom, almost doubled his light dare from 18 to 30 frames. Crazy. Oblina, light dare from 22 to 32 frames. Aerial down strong from 45 to 51 frames. Garfield, light down. His D-tilt actually does hit aerial opponents now, so you can actually use that as an edge guard. I'll kind of show you that in a sec. His light down strong, or his strong dare length was decreased, so he actually got a little bit of a buff. He has 5 frames less of end lag for Garfield. And Nintendo Switch Double Dare stage performance have been improved. The current update contains several tweaks, several balance tweaks to address feedback received by the community. Dares needed to go. We've also added a couple of features which have been, I'm guessing they're supposed to be suggested by players like CPU versus CPU. So, yes, the light dares, the things are dead. They're not completely gone, but they definitely are not nearly as crazy as they were. I'm going to change over here. There we go. And we'll just take a look at some of the stuff that went on here. So, yes. Whoops. Alrighty, folks. So, I'll crank down the volume here. So, go into the training mode. I will get out a second controller. Just plug it in so I can show you some stuff. We'll show off that new, kind of new feature. I mean, sponge. Yes. Alright, we're gonna go to this stage for a very specific reason. There is a change to Rooftop Rumble that was not in the patch notes. And we're not sure if it was because of like hitbox things, but so if we look at frame by frame, you see when I turn around, there's like a 1 frame animation or a couple frames of turning around now, instead of just like jankily jutting back and forth. There's a little bit more of a smoother turnaround. It's more noticeable online when like this was really like an issue. So if you notice, you might be saying, that's kind of weird. It looks like Garf is like sinking into the stage a little bit. Yeah, you can, the ledges on this stage have changed in a very, very noticeable way. They did not used to do this. I can tell you that right now. This was not a thing. It's also not that hard to get to ledge like this. You just simply input a wave dash. I guess you could also taunt cancel. But yeah, you can extend your hitboxes like all the way out. Like, oh my god. So if we walk Sponge over here, you can see a little bit better. Like, yeah, you can really reach people now on this kind of stages. Yeah, you can see that Garfield D-Tilt actually does hit aerial opponents now. So I want to show you how that can be kind of useful here. Give me 1 sec. Just gonna have to control 2 characters here at once. So we'll get Garfield set up, ready to do a D-Tilt. So a Sponge is like, oh, I'm gonna try to recover. Oh my god, hold on guys, sorry. I mean, it's hard to control 2 things at once. I mean, obviously you can do this now, where you're like, goodbye, get off my ledge. And the angle it sends you at is pretty brutal. But yeah, you can actually kind of use this to edge guard now, like if Sponge is trying to, say, like do a jump up or whatever. No. Get off my ledge. So I'll show you the end lag increase on the light dares, where you can get like 2 almost. I don't even know if that hitbox is coming out on a second one. Let's see. we do frame by frame. Oh. If we do like a full hop and then a second full hop. And I am spamming the A button. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, yeah, so you can get 2 out. It's definitely like more committal. Like if you're just jumping off, like you don't do like a full hop off stage, you can still get the 2 out. So you could do it. You can still do it. You can still get out your 2 dares, but like, man, it is way more committal now. It definitely is not something you want to be messing with. I mean, look at how far off stage you can go with these new ledges. Like I said, you just simply do a wave dash, and then, you know, you just control the entire, like... So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of basically the gist of a lot of these changes here is the light dare changes. And, oh, I'll show you some RPS stuff, I guess. So we'll turn hitboxes off. So you'll see that when I do this, SpongeBob is going to go into a stun before he goes into RPS loss. You saw that like half a second where the game like freezes. That's the new stun. So if you just do up and I do neutral, see how the game like pauses, and you notice he's taking the percentage now. His percentage is going up for these RPS losses. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like the game, things have definitely changed about the way this game works. There's some bugs. I mean, there's always bugs. I mean, somebody was saying that Garfield has the what's it called? The bug that Oblina had, where like if you're getting hit with downward momentum, sometimes up B just won't cancel it. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist of this patch. I mean, and I can tell you right now, like as a Garfield player, those 5 fewer frames of lag are very nice on his aerial down strong. But yeah, so that's kind of like the basic gist of this patch here is light dares are changed. There's weird ledges now on rooftops. Only on rooftops, I think. Let's see. I don't think any other stage really has like weird ledges like that. Let's try Jelly versus Garfield.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, no. See, these ledges are normal. You don't like tilt all the way down. I wonder if that was intentional. I don't know. It's very interesting. But yeah, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely, if you haven't played this game before and you were worried about the dare stuff and, you know, powdered toast man's tongue killing you at 0%, you don't have to worry about that stuff as much anymore. This game is, you know, I haven't played too much of it myself yet, but I think it's in a pretty good space. I've played a lot of this game, actually. I haven't played too much of this patch myself yet. But from what I've seen so far, it's pretty good. You see, I can live a tongue. That's no DI, by the way. The AI is not DIing Powder Toast Man tongue. So even at, you know, something of like 70%, you're not dying from his tongue anymore. So, yeah. If you're worried about some of the shenanigans in this game, this is a good time to pick it up. I would highly recommend this game. Certainly. I think that this patch is going to be very good. I think that the game is going to be in a very good spot. So, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys again next time.